That man does not call you. That man does not ask you how your day was. That man does not include you in his day. The only time you hear from him is when he wants to have sex. That man don't know if you ate. That man don't know if you got gas. That man does not know your visions, your dreams, your goals. That further validates that he is only around for what you are willing to give him. Okay? And the only reason why you're holding on is because of this story that you've made up in your head about how the relationship could be, when he has obviously shown no signs of commitment to you, or even being that interested in you. He only wants the thing that he calls you about.
It's not official, but it feels real until she realized it only felt real to her. Hey, Rych Babes, welcome back to A Rich Girl's Glow Up. I'm Robin Milan, and this one is for the Rych Babe who stayed too long in the gray area, the almost, the unspoken, the we're just vibing phase that went on far too long. You weren't delusional, you were just being so hopeful, but there comes a point when you have to stop falling in love with potential and start choosing clarity. Let's talk about it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back at the end.
Hey ladies, if you're having a bad day, just remember, I once knew a woman. She's grown. She's not 19, 20, or 21. None, or close. Once a woman who was in a 3-year-long situationship with a man. This man didn't have a car. This man didn't keep a job for longer than 3 months. This man never wanted to commit to her. He moved into her house, didn't pay a lick of rent. She asked him to dog sit her dog one day, and he lost her dog. He borrowed money from her all the time and never ever paid it back. And not once in these 3 years did he ever eat her cat. He never did it. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I have to speak the truth. He never did it one time. And yes, she was doing the same thing for him. Yes, she was. Consistently doing that for him and never getting the favor returned. So if that's not you today, then you need to take a moment and put your hand up and say, thank you, God. Because it could always be worse.
So I used to talk to this guy, and for the sake of this video, his name is Tim. So me and Tim were situating, if you get me. Never got into a relationship, but no boundaries. None whatsoever. In typical Aquarius style, I ghosted him whenever he would do fuck shit. It's not okay, but it is. So long story short, me and Tim became friends again a few months ago. Like, actually friends. Not like, friends. So our first hangout as friends was us just like getting coffee, catching up. And he confided in me about some stuff going on with his family. And it's not to say that he never talked about his family before, because he did, but he never opened up about this like really important aspect of his childhood. And it made me feel really bad, because I realized in that moment that I had romanticized Tim so much that I didn't look at him as a person. Like, in my mind, he was just like a nice puzzle piece to my fantasy. He was like the one that got away or whatever, even though that's really me. And like, I cared about him, but I feel like since I was looking to him for certain things, I just never really considered that he could be struggling, that he could be, you know what I'm saying, still going through trauma from his childhood and things like that. But yeah, in that moment of him just like being super vulnerable, I feel like that was the first time that I really looked at him as a person. Not my imaginary boyfriend, not my crush, not this, fine ass man who also happens to be my friend, but as a person who's been through a lot and just kind of needs somebody to talk to. So I say all that to say, if you find yourself romanticizing somebody that you like, understand that you're doing a disjustice to yourself and also to that person too. I don't necessarily have the answer as to how to not do that, other than to maybe like limit your physical interactions, in that way. But that experience definitely made me realize, like, okay, if I like a man, I've always cared about the friendship aspect, but let's not romanticize everything he does. Him texting you good morning is not that deep. Him telling you that you look pretty, it's not that serious. Bitch, you always look pretty. Basically, all I'm saying is, if you catch yourself catching feelings for somebody, run. No, I'm kidding. Remember that they're a person too. And remember how you feel when people do that to you. Because as a woman, as a fine woman, might I add, I can always tell in conversations when somebody isn't looking at me as a person, and I hate it. It really disgusts me. Which is why I probably felt so disgusted with myself for doing that to somebody I care about a lot. So remember how that makes you feel, like less than a person. And yeah, try not to do it to other people. Bye.
They never give you a title. You're just there. You're cooking for them, cleaning, you're linking them, you're doing advanced sexual activities with them, but you get nothing in return. Like, all you are to that person is literally a kill, to be honest. You shouldn't be dealing with anybody where you're doing wifely duties without the title, without the girlfriend title. You're just a free maid at this point. You're just doing things for this person to get their validation or approval, or for them to pick you and say, oh, you know, you did this for me all this time, I think I'm gonna make you my girlfriend. Like, stuff like that do not work. Do not give a person 100% and they giving you 30. Stuff do not work like that, especially as a girl. You gotta stand up. Anybody in that situation right now, y'all better stand up. Do not be begging anybody to make you something. Do not beg somebody to choose you or pick you, or giving them certain special treatment that they do not deserve just because they're in your presence and they're brainwashing you. So that is huge. Somebody who does not commit to you and try to string you along and like keep you sheltered, and they're doing their own thing. Because a lot of men, that's how they are. They like to, they live a double life. They could tell you one thing, but in reality they're doing something else. So just always structure up and make sure you put yourself first. And these are the few tips.
I was in a 2-year-long situationship, and I'm making this video for anyone and everyone who is in a situationship, okay? Anyone who's in a situationship where they love the person, like the person, have feelings for the person, please watch this fucking video. I was in a 2-year situationship, and when I first met this person, like, we really had an instant connection. I met this person, first red flag was, I met this person in the club atmosphere, but that person wasn't there to club, they were there working. And so I thought he was kind of cute. I asked my friend, like, hey, is he single? Is he straight? Like, yada, yada, yada. Because she knew him, that's why. And she was like, yeah. So after that, we went to an after hour spot, and I was dancing, and I was dancing to a song. And while I was dancing, I looked at him, and then like just the eye contact alone, I knew right then and there, this is something different than what I've ever been with, Because you just know, when you have an instant connection with someone opposed to when you really didn't have that instant ass connection with somebody. So we started talking. And so talking to him, he's getting to know me. He's saying, hey, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, yada, yada, yada. And we're talking stuff like that. And, eventually the sex comes into the chat, and the sex is just like the fucking cherry on top. I'm like so sure that this motherfucker is my husband. We will get married, and I will be having 7 of his kids, okay? I was so sure. So then, like, as we're still talking, it's been like about a couple of weeks now. We're talking, we're seeing each other and things like that. I ask him, are you trying to be, like, are you looking for anything? Like, what's going on in your life? The age gap between us was 10 years. I was like 21 or 22 at that time, and he was like 31 or 32 at that time, I think. Or 30 or 31. So I think I was 20 or 21. Yeah, I was 20 because I had lied to him and I told him I was 21. So yeah, we were literally about 10 years apart. And yes, I eventually came clean about the lie. But anyways, he tells me that throughout his 20s, he's been dating girls and it just didn't go nowhere. And he'd just been spending all his 20s in relationships, and he never gave back to himself. So he just didn't want to be in a relationship so soon because he's just been in them. Of course, as a girl like me, like, I like him. I'm willing to kind of just stick it through because I really don't want to lose him, and I'm feeling like, the energy about to be so good, he can't even deny it anyway, right? So, we continue talking. So then, like, of course, as my feelings start to grow for him even more and more, and it's evident that we're not going to be in a relationship soon, and I'm not the type of person that likes to have sex and just vibe out with motherfuckers on just a regular basis and grow feelings for somebody that I'm never going to be in a relationship with. I started to tell him, like, well, since you're not, interested in being in a relationship, I'm going to keep my options open because I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready for love. I'm ready for something serious. And so every time I told him, he would get mad at me. He's all like, yeah, no, I'm ready for a relationship, but you do things that I don't like. You do things, you. So of course I'm like, what am I doing that you don't like? He tells me what I'm doing that I don't like, and I start trying to fix it. So again, a couple months later, I'm like, so, bringing up the thing again. Like, I'm just kind of feeling like a little lost because I'm telling him like I'm feeling uncomfortable and insecure because we're not in a real established relationship. He started to tell me that I'm title chasing. I'm too worried about a title. All I want is a title because he could just give me a title and he could just treat me the same way and yada, 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 whoopty whoop. Honestly, I was like, you might as well just give me the motherfucking title, bitch. You might as well. If you were just gonna treat me the same fucking way. Shit. At that point, just suffice a motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, we continue dating and things like that, and I'm seeing the red flags. His first red flag was that he gets too fucking angry and he starts screaming at people. We were literally we were supposed to hang out one night, and he comes over and he's all like, oh, I forgot that it was my friend's birthday, and so he's gonna pull up for a little bit. I'm just gonna go get like a drink or two with him, and smoke with him, and we gonna come back. And then he was like, do you want to come smoke with us? And I was like, yeah, because, I don't turn down no blunts. So I went to go smoke with him or whatever, and his friend is sitting in the driver's seat. He's sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm sitting behind him in the behind the passenger seat. And we're all musical artists. We all make music in the car. And so his friend, that it's his birthday, he puts on his songs and stuff like that. And, we all up in, in the car and, like this and stuff like that. But his friend, rapping out the lyrics and turning around and looking at me. I'm over here and to be nice, I'm all like, just kind of trying to be nice, but bro, what the fuck is you doing? So then that's evident, and it's making me feel uncomfortable. And as a spiritual person, I'm feeling his energy. I'm feeling that he feels uncomfortable about it too. So I just start being quiet and putting my earphones in. We get out the car and we start heading to the bar, and we're in a busy ass street, walking across a busy ass street. I'm in heels, and this nigga walks across the street, all the way across the street, leaves me. And I knew that was my first red flag, because I don't like niggas who walk in front of me. I don't like that shit at all. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't give a fuck if you're mad. I don't give a fuck if you're irritated, bitch. Don't walk in front of me. This ain't that. So anyways, that started pissing me off, because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? So then I started asking him, what's wrong? And he's all like, nothing. I'll tell you, later on. And so then he's just acting weird to me throughout the whole night. And so, eventually at the bar, I'm like, what's wrong? Just tell me what's wrong, because the energy's off. It's making me feel uncomfortable. And he's all like, you think I don't fucking see you sitting at the bar, flirting with me flirting with my friends in front of me? You're flirting with my friends in front of me? We at a bar outside, y'all, and he's screaming at me like that. And I'm like, whoa, we're not in a relationship, right? So I'm just kind of confused at that too. I'm just like, what the fuck are you even mad about? Even if I was friends with your friend, why are you mad? Because you don't want to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'm fucking free game. And then, not even that, y'all, but when we get in the car, he introduces me as a friend. He's all like, this is my home girl. Not even, this is my girl, this is the girl I'm talking to, nothing. So this dude didn't know. He thinking I'm just your fucking friend. So that's what pissed me off. I felt like it was his fucking fault. His friend was fucking flirting with me in the first place, because he didn't take up for me. He just left me there. So anyways, after that, I knew this dude is fucking toxic. A few events happened after that. He was screaming at me. He was like, you bitch, in my ear, my ear's right here. And he's like, you bitch, like this. I don't even know why. It was one night when I was driving, and he was mad because of how I was driving and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, it's late at night. I'm trying to get us the fuck home. I'm tired. You don't even have a fucking car, bitch. So why the fuck are you mad? So then I literally, it was a long night. He tried to put his hands on me, but luckily I got that, try your mama 3000. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, it just multiple signs that this person ain't it. You know what I'm saying? This person just not for me. This person just not doing it. This person just he just toxic. So then eventually we fall off. I had to move to Dallas because I had lost my apartment, and I had to move to Dallas. And so we again were in a relationship, and he basically told me he wasn't going to wait for me. And so when he was talking to somebody, and I caught him talking to somebody, and I got mad at him for it. I told him, I was like, if you're talking to other people, you should have just told me that. And he's all getting mad at me. He's all like, you're this, you're that. He got mad at me, which I knew was true, right? So we fell off. For 6 months, we did not talk. He came back into my life after 6 months. I'm already talking to somebody else. I missed him, but I was talking to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to fucking try, And so he comes back into my life, and since I'm single but still talking to somebody else, I kind of just entertained just a little bit. And so finally, when he's starting to like me enough, he starts asking me, what do I want? And I told him I want to be exclusive, and he was like, all right, bet. And so after that, I started trying to break it off with the other person I had been talking to after, we broke it off for 6 months. So I tell the other person and things like that. He finds out about the other person, and he gets mad at me, but he still decides to stay with me. Couple months down the line, we get into this big ass argument. He puts his hands on me. He chokes me out in the hallway. He throws my journal. He tried to throw my damn tablet. All this extra shit. Like he's getting toxic and more toxic. I'm saying all this to say, basically, it's not going to work out. Your situationship will never turn into a relationship. It will never, ever turn into a relationship. I know you have high hopes. I know this person done told you they fucking loved you. I know this person wants to spend all the fucking time in the world with you. But that doesn't, if this person is not asking you to be their girlfriend and they're fucking doing right by you, if they're fucking leaving you on red, if they're lagging on you, if they're doing any fucking shit, my nigga, that shit ain't gonna turn into a relationship. It's not. It's not. A real nigga who really, really fucking wants you will never ever let you go. They ain't gonna lag. They gonna call. They gonna talk through it. They gonna fucking work it out. So don't let these motherfuckers who you like and think that, you know, oh, they love me and yada yada. Don't let that shit get to your motherfucking head, bro. It's a fucking lie. They're doing that because they're trying to keep you in a fucking place. You are holding a place, whether or not you're holding a place until they're ready to be in a relationship, whether you're holding a place until they decide to be with somebody the fuck else, whether you're holding a place before they leave, you're holding a fucking place. And it will never turn into a relationship. And I'm just sorry. I just feel like so many people, especially so many of my clients, come to me about situationships. And like, I'm just like, no, y'all. No. Don't put yourself in a fucking situationship. Don't let that shit happen. And if you are in a situationship, be fucking strategic. Don't be no softy ass. I love him. I want him. I'm causing problems and I'm mean to him and I'm treating him like shit. Be strategic. Be sexy. If you want to know how, let me tell you. Because this ain't it. This ain't it. I promise you. It's not going to be it. This motherfucker is going to continue to disappoint you. If you let them shenan once, bitch, they will shenan the fuck again.
Don't let your situationship stop you from meeting your husband. I ain't learned that lesson until I was like 26, 27. I hate that it took me so long, but everything happens for a reason. If you are constantly questioning whether or not you have a real future with him, he's probably not your husband. There will be signs. There will be red flags. More importantly, there will be green flags. When I met my husband, that man was intentional. It wasn't just the dates and how he courted me that mattered. It was also how our conversations aligned. Very early on, we were establishing what would our future look like together. And I'm not talking about all the good things like the white picket fence, the big house, the traveling together. Yeah, we talked about that too, but I'm talking about getting down to the nitty gritty, getting down to those uncomfortable conversations. Discuss finances, which is one of the number one reasons that people get divorced in the first place. We pulled each other's credit scores to see what type of baggage we were bringing into a marriage. We discussed what our idea of a family unit would look like. We had to peel back layers of our childhood to understand how you were raised, how I was raised, what are things inside of us that have not been healed yet, and how will that show up in our future parenting. I could go on, but girl, the conversations is getting deep. And then aside from all those talks, I paid attention to his actions. I watched how he started to carry himself as if he was already a husband. Mind you, we were long distance, so he didn't have to let me know about his whereabouts. He didn't have to check in with me. Things that he was doing as if we were already married, he started doing that very early on. Also paid attention to how he spoke of me to other people, how he introduced me to the people that matter most to him in his life. Anyway, there's a very long list of green flags, but the bottom line is these were things that were present with us that were definitely not present in my situationships. Maybe, just maybe, you haven't met your soulmate yet because there's no room for him because all of your attention is on your situationship. Block them, cut them off, try to go at least 90 days without speaking to them and see what happens.
She didn't plan to fall for him, but he made her feel so special sometimes. He said just enough, did just enough, kept her close, but never committed. They weren't together, but they did everything couples do. She cooked for him, cared for him, loved him without saying it out loud because she didn't want to ruin the vibe. But she was slowly ruining herself because deep down, she really wanted more. She wanted to be chosen. She wanted to be claimed. She wanted to stop pretending like she was okay with something that never made her feel secure. He kept it undefined and called it simple. She called it vibing, but her heart was screaming for something real. And every time she tried to pull away, he'd reel her ass right back in, okay? With affection, with attention, with just enough to make her stay until she started feeling invisible. Because the truth is, Rich Babes. When you're in a situationship, you start performing for love instead of receiving it. She started overgiving, overthinking, overcompensating, and he stayed the same. Emotionally unavailable, yet always available enough to confuse her. It took time, but eventually she got tired. Tired of waking up in anxiety, okay? My anxiety. Tired of being everything without being anything. Tired of waiting on a man who was never waiting on her. So she stopped hoping, stopped texting first, stop romanticizing these mixed signals. So she let go, not just of him, but the version of her that thought that she would settle to be loved. Now, all right, she's not waiting on the bare minimum energy. She's not confused about her worth. She's not in love with vibes. She's in love with clarity. Because a woman who's healed from a situationship becomes impossible to play with. Okay? Do you hear me? Stop playing with me. Okay? So if you ever been stuck in something that felt like love, but came from no commitment, no communication, and no clarity, let this be your reminder. You are not too much for wanting consistency. You are not needy for asking, what are we? And you are not wrong for walking away from almost love. Almost doesn't count. Okay. I feel like I always got a song for every time we have a conversation. So you deserve to be chosen out loud, without hesitation, without confusion. Okay? So ladies, be the woman who walks in the room and make people wonder. Secure the bag, protect your peace, and stay rich, rich babes. Love you.